Hello and happy Friday. So I'm just parked outside my apartment building right now. It's raining super hard. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's kind of just a miserable day outside. So if I had it my way, I wouldn't be leaving the house. But I ordered some markers and like craft supplies from Michael's yesterday, and it came, so I have to go do like the drive-by pickup thing at the store. I bought the markers because for one of my classes I'm writing a children's book about PTSD, and so I'm gonna do the illustrations for it now. I have all of the writing done, I just need to do the drawings, but I didn't have any markers, so I'm going to pick those up. And that's what this video is gonna be. I'm gonna show you how to write a children's book, and hopefully it turns out well. I've never been quite the artist, but recently I've been trying to get more into it. I've been doing like t-shirt designs and stuff, so I thought I would give it a shot. Honestly, if the drawings don't go well, I'm just gonna end up using clip art, like stuff I can find on the internet. But I hope that the illustrations go well, because not only will it be more personal and it'll look like I put more work into the project, but also I won't have to do all the citations for the images, which is always a pain in the ass. So yeah, we're gonna go to Michael's and I'll let you know what I get. Okay, so I am so stupid. I'm outside Michael's right now, waiting for my curbside pickup, as you do, and they're closed. Of course they're closed. It's Good Friday. How did I not remember that? I drove all the way out here for nothing. So we're gonna have to start this project tomorrow, turns out, because it says they are open on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you know where I'll be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Honestly, I feel less bad though, because there's so many people driving by, stopping, and then realizing that it's closed and just driving away. So I'm not the only idiot this Good Friday. Actually, it's not a Good Friday. It's a bad Friday. I can't believe I made this mistake. I'm actually so upset. Okay, hello. It's the next day now, Saturday before Easter Sunday, and I got the markers that I needed this morning. I went as soon as the store opened, so I was the first one in the line for the car pickup thing. So I got all my markers, and now I'm just gonna sit down and do the illustrations. So I'll put the camera there and just do like a little time lapse of it so you can see a bit of it, but I'll mainly just show you what it looks like when it's done, and I'll like walk you through the steps of what I did. Okay, so I actually forgot to film me doing the initial stencils of the pictures that I'm making. It's been crazy around here, just doing a lot of like household tasks. It's Saturday, so it's a laundry day, so I've been like running around doing that while also doing the stencils. So honestly, the time lapse would have just been me getting up and down out of this chair a million times anyways. But I haven't actually colored over the stencils yet, so I'll show you a couple of them. You can't really see it. You'll be able to see it better when I color it in, but this is my little hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. He's so cute. I don't know why these make me so happy. I guess I just like seeing the structures visualized in cartoon form, because I always see them like in the form that they actually exist in your brain, which honestly doesn't look very enticing or exciting. Look at how cute he is. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it'll look pretty good, mostly because I decided not to draw all of the images because it would just take too much time and it's too much work. So I'm drawing out the things that I can't find online that like aren't clip art. Like I would never be able to find this in clip art on Google Images. So I'm drawing out mostly just the structures that I need for the book. And then I'm just gonna look up PNGs for the different things that I need in the book that are easy to find. Like I just need like a ghost on this page, or like the outline of a body, so I can find that stuff easily. So right now, since I have all of my stencils done, I'm just gonna sit here and color them in. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scan these pieces of paper with the images on them, scan them onto my computer, turn them into PNGs so the background is gone, and then I'm just going to edit it all on some sort of software. I'll probably just do it on PowerPoint if I'm honest, just because it's the easiest and most intuitive to work, and I don't want to have to worry about learning how to use a whole new program right now. Honestly, I thought that this was going to be a really calming activity, just like sitting here drawing, but it's actually incredibly stressful. Like the stenciling wasn't that hard, like the drawing with the pencil, because if you make a mistake, obviously you can just erase it. But I'm going in with the markers now, and it's like I'm giving somebody a tattoo. It's like so permanent, and if I make a mistake, there's no going back. So actually what I did was I like scanned or made a copy of the stencils, so I have the exact same one, so if I mess up on one, then I have another one. So I've just done the outline for this guy. You can see him a little bit better now. Basically, I'm just using the thick markers for the outermost lines and then the thin one for any of the details on the inside. I just think it'll keep it from all like muddling together accidentally, because a lot of the fine lines are pretty close together. So I want to make sure that it is like a clear line and it doesn't all blend together on the page. Finished drawings. There aren't a lot of them. Like I said before, I just decided to do the like brain structures and structures in your body that needed to be done. So here are my little guys here. So this is supposed to be cortisol, which is a stress hormone. This is the hippocampus, which actually looks pretty anatomically correct if you ask me. This is supposed to be, it's supposed to represent like the frontal lobe, the frontal part of your brain, but I wanted to make it kind of like cartoony, so I just have a brain and then like a little cartoon guy popping up in the spot that I'm referring to. This is norepinephrine, and this is my HPA axis. I think they look super cute. I'm excited to see what they look like on my computer. I am regretting now buying so many markers. I mean, I'll use them eventually for something else, but they're just like whole markers and whole packs of markers that I didn't even open, so that was kind of a waste. But everything together was only like $15, so not breaking the bank. Okay, so it's currently 8:40 p.m. right now. I've been working on this project literally all day. I think I started working on this at like 10:30, maybe 11 at the latest, and I'm still working on it. I have all of the graphics for the most part done and all the text in for like the story part, but I have a couple of like little extra things I want to add to it. Just like I want to add a little word bank at the end and whatnot, so I have to add all the finishing touches, and I still have a little bit left to write, but I think I can get it done tonight. But I am going a little bit stir crazy sitting there just looking at my laptop all day, and it's really not good for my eyes. Like, they're so strained right now. So I'm gonna not look at a screen for a little while today, which is honestly pretty unheard of in this house, but I'm gonna try and go half an hour without looking at a screen. I'm gonna bake some cookies because it's Easter tomorrow, so I want to have some sort of dessert prepared that's fun and festive. So that's what I'm up to, and I'll show you the book later. I can't look at my screen right now. Okay, so it's about 9:45 now, which means I've been making cookies for over an hour, because here's what happened. This always happens to me. I'm notorious for being a bad cookie maker, but I swear it's not even my fault. Like, okay, it obviously is my fault. I'm just telling myself it's not so I feel better. But I made this one batch of cookies, right? And I didn't want it to be like a full batch of like 36 cookies, because it's just too much and we never eat them all. But I do remember in past experience when trying to like half recipe, it never turns out right. Like, I use the proper measurements and like the proper ratios and stuff for a smaller batch, but it just never turns out tasting good. So I looked up a recipe that only made 6 cookies, and I made it. Let me just show you what happened. I basically got a big pancake. So honestly, it doesn't taste bad. Like, it's just butter, sugar, and chocolate, so obviously it's gonna taste good. But I just didn't get the form I wanted. So even though I cleaned up the kitchen already, I went back and I am currently making another batch that does look a lot better, so hopefully they will turn out better and I won't have to make a third batch. I'm kidding, I wouldn't make the third batch, or would I? Finally, we have some cookies that actually look like cookies. They look definitely better than whatever that is over there. However, they still have this weird like foamy business going on. I don't know. It's honestly probably just the recipe that I used. Like, it was no Jamie Oliver. It was like just some mom with a blog, I'm pretty sure. No shade to moms with blogs, but they're just not professional. And now I'm starting to believe that I just can't trust them with my cookie recipes. But anyways, we have cookies nonetheless. Hello, I'm back. So it's Sunday, it's Easter Sunday, and this video has officially been 3 days in the making, maybe 4 days in the making, so I'm ending it today. I'm actually done the book, everything except for the citations, but you don't need to see that anyways because that's boring. So now I can finally walk you through how I made the book, and I'll show you the book. I guess I should give you a little rundown of what the book actually is. I don't think I've done that yet. So for my one class, my seminar class, we had to pick a topic and do a 20-minute like oral seminar on it, and then we also had to make like a written aspect of it using that same material that we used from the oral seminar. So the topic that I chose was like how your body and your brain adapts to PTSD. So I had my script and everything written for it, and then for my written aspect, I decided to make a children's book. So the idea of the children's book is that like parents with PTSD or that like know somebody with PTSD will read it to their kid and explain to them why all of the emotional and behavioral ups and downs happen, so that the child understands that it's not something that they did to cause the person to be angry or sad very easily. It's just literally biological processes that have kind of been thrown out of whack due to an unfortunate past experience. So that's the idea of the book. All of the written content of the book was pulled directly from my script, but it was reworded so that like a 10 or a 12-year-old would be able to understand it. So the book is pretty easy to read, and there are a couple of pages at the beginning and at the end of the book just for the parents to read so that they understand the gist of the book, and so that if the child has any further questions about the book, they're able to answer it using the additional content that I've put in there for parents. So the very first thing that I did was I wrote out all of the written content that I wanted in the book. So I pulled from my seminar script and I broke it down into little sections and then just rephrased everything so that a kid could understand it. So every little paragraph here represents another page, or like 2 pages that I wanted to make sure were side by side. After writing all the written stuff and having that polished, I then went on to make a little storyboard here. It's pretty crumpled up because I sat on it last night. But basically what I did was I broke it down from cover to end, all of the pages that I wanted in the book and how I wanted them to be styled. So it's really, really rough. Like, there was no detail involved here because you don't really need to have detail involved. A lot of the creativity just comes as you're going. So I have a rough idea of everything I want on the pages here. This is a really good idea to do this to keep you on track and make sure that you're not missing anything, because it's really easy to go through and kind of rush it and then miss a couple of pages, and then it's kind of a pain in the butt to add them in later. The next step was a little bit convoluted because my plan changed halfway through. So my initial plan was that I was going to actually draw all of the illustrations in the book, but then I realized that it was going to take too long and it would be too difficult. So I decided to do half and half. So half the images in the book are just clip art kind of things from online stock photos, and then the other half are things that I drew. I ended up putting off gathering the clip art until I was actively putting the book together, and I just started doing the illustrations. The first step for my illustrations was to sketch it out. I already had an idea in my head of what I wanted all the characters to look like. It was just a matter of getting it on paper and making it look nice. So I pulled from a little bit of inspiration online, but honestly there wasn't a lot online, so I kind of just had to make it up as I went along. So I did a sketch of it in pencil first. Then I went in with black marker and outlined everything, and then I went in with markers afterwards and colored it all in. And so that's how I made my illustrations. The way that I got it on my laptop was I basically just scanned it onto a USB and then plugged that USB into my laptop, and then I ended up with a file that had a very, very clear image of what I drew on the paper, so that was really good. So this is the front page of the book. It's called Why Are You So Scared? And these are the pictures of all of the characters that I drew in the book. So you can just kind of get a little close look of what I drew. Honestly, they're not that good, but I feel like it adds to the child aesthetic of the book, so I'm fine with it. I'll talk you through this slide as an example, and then I'll just flick through everything, and you can just read the whole book if you want. You can like pause it. But basically the steps that I went through to put together each page or each slide is I did all of the graphics first and made sure that they fit properly on the page and they looked nice together, and then I added the text because the text was already done, and if the text doesn't fit, it's just a matter of making the font smaller or moving the images around a little bit, so it's not a big deal. So that's what I did for all of the slides, and it took a really long time. It took me all day yesterday and a little bit of this morning as well. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I hope you like reading it. So finally, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle to get markers and struggle to get this together. I'm very happy with the way it turned out, but I'm also very happy that it's done because I've been looking at the same content. I've been working with the same topic for months now, and it's just nice to have everything packaged up in a nice bow and wrapped up, done. Don't have to look at it, don't have to worry about it ever again. So yeah, I will talk to you again soon. Bye.